Sca Fell Pike in the background up there. So I'll just introduce you to Billy and James. If we pan round, it's Billy and James. Say how do.
Nice wet Billy on my knee.
So yeah, beautiful location for a bit of dinner and just chill. But so sun-wise and watch-wise, I mean, we all know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So the technique would be, and I'll show you again in a little bit when we get a little bit of a better time to show you. But if you look at my watch here now, so that's my watch, yep, and you can see that the hour hand is pointing to 12. So normally you point your hour hand at the sun and then your half between your hour hand and 12, and that is south. 12:15 in the daytime, so I'm just going to point my hour hand at the sun, which is up there, yep, so I know that that's south, so that is south, but I'll show you again later on when we get a different time. So if I put the compass next to it, turn that round to north, there, so yeah, compass is saying that's south as well, so we know that that's south. It's dead easy now because it's dinner time, it's 12 o'clock, but we'll have another look at that in a little bit on a different time and I'll show you again. So the sun's behind the clouds at the minute, so it's not brilliant for the shadow stick method. If you had an analog watch on you, then you just don't need to use the shadow stick method, but you might be out in a survival situation where you don't have a watch or your watch is broken, you don't have a phone. Most people carry phones now in the rucksacks as a backup. Well, you're always going to carry one for your safety in case you need to get hold of emergency services, but if and you can quite often, well, most of the time you can change your phones to analog anyway, from digital to analog, so you could just use that clock on there if you wanted. But I'll show you the shadow method as well as soon as the sun comes out, if it comes out properly, and we'll have a look at that, and we'll have another look at this in a little bit. So right, get a bit of jackbit down us and then get up onto the mountains. This valley's called Great Moss. I once camped down here about, it's quite a long time ago, the best part of 14 years ago, with the eldest two lads. James wasn't with us, he was only about 5 at the time. But we camped just in this, it's called Great Moss, this valley. Beautiful, follow the river up, we camped in this. And then getting bit by horseflies. Up to the top of Sca Fell Pike. So if we look up here, this valley here in between, that's called Little Narrow Cove, that gully. So, or cove. So we're going to go up that onto the summit. But yeah, not much water. I've been in here before when all these streams and all these riverbeds were tanking, absolutely tanking down off the mountainside. But it's one in England, so we're pretty near the top, so you need a fair bit of rain, but it's amazing how full they get, even though they're so close to the highest point in England. But yeah, beautiful, isn't it? What do you two reckon, eh, Billy Bobs? Is it smart? Yeah.
He loves checking out the views, me.
Oh, he loves it, doesn't he? Hey, good lad. Just approaching top of the summit now, not far off. Coming over here and onto Fell and Crinkle Crags over there. Fantastic, beautiful, great gable. Yeah, so it's definitely worth knowing how to do it. And like I say, I've used it in the past, and there's many a stories of people who've gone off the beaten track, you know, to have a piss in the woods or whatever, and then they've not been able to find their way back, and the emergency services have found them years later, 300 metres from the track or something like that. So just being aware of where the sun is can help. But looking at the sun now, the sun's directly up there. So if I set my watch with the hour hand pointing at the sun, and then halfway between there and 12 gives me south, so that means south is there. So if I have a look with me, get my compass out, yeah, so there. So you point with that hour hand at the sun, and then halfway between there and 12 gives you south. The summit of the highest mountain in England, Sca Fell Pike, is just behind me. So you gets busy, do you know what I mean? There's people on it all day long. Some of them they're well happy when they get to the top. That's probably what that big cheer was then. So it's a busy spot within reason. Just dropped off top of Sca Fell Pike. There's too many up there making a bloody racket. That's the best thing about, I usually get up here in winter. In winters, you know what I mean, when it's snow and ice, there's nowhere near as many people up here because conditions are a lot harder and it's a bit rough in it. But yeah, fantastic day up in mountains. So we're going to head down now. It's going to take us about 3.5, 4 hours to get down or something like that. But right, Billy Bobs, hey, we're going down, yeah we are. But yeah, spot on. So see Wastwater in distance. So we're on the highest mountain in Lakes. Down there is the highest, the deepest lake in the Lake District, Wastwater. So this is Sca Fell. We're going to drop down, that's Mickledore. You'll come up Mickledore from that side. We're going to drop down this side, back down through Great Moss. Right, so there is that other way where you can use the sun. Well, we looked at the watches. It's been a bit dull all day, but just on way down now, it's cleared up a bit. So what you need a straight stick about 3 foot, maybe a metre long. So I'm going to use one of my walking poles. So all you do with your walking pole, I'm going to stick it in the ground, or your stick. Oh. Get it as straight as you can. Ideally, you want the ground to be perfectly flat. And then, at the end of where my stick is, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 2 rocks. Yeah, 1 rock will do, whatever. Stick your knife in the ground, stick another stick in the ground, whatever you want. So there, at the end of where that stick's going. And then, I want to time 15 minutes from when this is put to there. Now I've got a watch on, so I wouldn't even bother with this. I'd just use me blimmin' use my little finger, pointed at that, half between there and 12, bang. I know that's south, so I'd just do that. But if I didn't have this watch on me, I could use this, and I could even use this over an hour. We're going to do it over a quick 15 minutes and see if it works out alright. So we've got the first marker, so I'm going to set my watch, and then we're going to wait for 15 minutes and put a second marker down where the shadow is. Now if you didn't have a watch, you're going to have to count the minutes. So basically 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, 1 stone. When you've done up to a minute and what have you, just count it up to 15 minutes and use it that way. But yeah, so we'll come back to that and we'll check, and this gives you your west to easterly. So as opposed to your north to southerly, this is going to give you your west to easterly, and your first mark is going to be your west. Yep, so we'll check that out 15 minutes from now. We'll have a look. Cheers. north there, so bang on. So west there, so if we have a look, so we've got west here, east there, so perfect for our line there. So that just shows, just with the 15 minutes using the shadows, we know what's west, and once we know what's west is east, we know what's north and south. Yeah, we know that's west, so we know north, east, south, west, so we can find with directions. Yeah, so spot on, so it works well. So that's just a quick demo of it. Thought we might as well do a demo while we're out today and show that, just using walking poles and what we had on us. But it works, and like I say, I've used it in the past when I've got lost, and it's got me back. So brilliant, it's been a great day. We've enjoyed it up here in mountains. So yep, if you fancy coming back, come back and watch us again on somewhere else, and we'll see you soon. Alright, cheers.